The sprint qualifying session for the 2025 Brazilian Grand Prix weekend just took place. This is the starting grid, and the biggest prediction we all need to get behind is that Max Verstappen will beat both of the McLaren drivers in the sprint race. Now, obviously, like I'm literally banking on a miracle. This prediction is banking on a miracle. We don't just need rain, we need the right amount of rain. Because if it is too much rain, the FIA are a bunch of pussies. They're going to, not have a standing start. They will do multiple laps behind the safety car. They're gonna ruin the race. They might even cancel the session. Like that's the extent that the FIA will go to make sure that we don't have any good quality of entertainment or fun in life. So obviously I'm practically banking on a miracle that Norris and Piastri will lose too much time and track position fighting with Antonelli and Russell, which will allow Fernando Alonso and Max Verstappen to get opportunistic. Verstappen, obviously being the rainmaster, will come out on top. That's basically is the whole prediction, and it's not going to happen if it's not a miracle. That's why it sounds a little bit delusional. Now, the reason why I made this borderline or absolutely delusional prediction that banks on a miracle, two reasons. The first reason is we need an interesting and entertaining title fight. So far, we have seen Norris and Piastri, they are incapable of providing us with some good entertainment. Nothing aggressive between them. There is no animosity. There is no mind games. There is no, shoving each other off the track. There is no, fight. Like for real. And then to ruin it even further, we have the McLaren pit wall who meddle in between the drivers and, change the outcome of the race. So that's even more boring and disappointing and enraging. The second reason is that if Verstappen doesn't close up in the Brazilian Grand Prix, then chances are his campaign for 2025 World Drivers' Championship is significantly low. Now, obviously, it always has been low, but since the last few Grand Prix where he has closed massively to Norris and Piastri, especially since Monza, there has been a little bit higher probability that Verstappen can actually win this thing. Now, since Mexico City Grand Prix, Verstappen has been on the back foot. Like in Mexico, the performance of the RB21 was not on the level of McLaren, and that's putting it lightly. Norris won by 30 seconds in that race. And in Brazil, it still seems that RB21's issues, the drivability issues, like either the ride is uncomfortable or the balance of the car is all over the place. And Verstappen was also saying after the sprint qualifying that the rear grip is also not there, which means the exit of the corners are fucked. He was purple in sector 1, but in sector 2 and sector 3, because of the poor balance of the car, poor drivability and limited rear grip, he was not able to have proper exits and proper sequence of corners, and that's why he got fucked. And that's a bad news on a track like Brazil, where overtaking is facilitated by a lot of the corners. And it seems like he is poised to lose points to both of the McLaren drivers. Now, if Verstappen loses points to McLaren drivers in this race, in this Grand Prix weekend in particular, it doesn't matter by how much. If he just loses points, then I think the chances of him winning the 2025 world title gets, much lower than what it was before Monza. You know what I mean? Like before Monza, I think after the Dutch Grand Prix, Max was 104 points behind Piastri. So we will go back to lower than that levels, because there will be only 3 Grand Prix remaining, and both Norris, Piastri and McLaren seem to be in perfect form. So those are the 2 reasons why I'm still backing Verstappen for the entertainment purposes, and also this is kind of like a do or die type of Grand Prix. Brazil is usually the turning point race in all of the championships. Even if sometimes the championship go to Abu Dhabi down the wire, it's determined that in Brazil it will go down the wire. So the only way we can determine it, that Verstappen stays in the fight, is the rain tomorrow, the rain in the sprint race, or the damp track conditions, the tricky conditions that give Verstappen the advantage that he has been looking for. Basically, we want the driving conditions to be so shit that only Verstappen can drive. That's the only thing that needs to happen. Other than that, like if we're gonna go ahead and pick realistically, then it seems like either it's going to be any of the McLaren driver or the Mercedes driver, which is fucking boring, and we don't want that. We want Verstappen P1, Alonso P2, that'll be sick, and then I don't care who comes P3. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.